Good morning and welcome to the DCT 28 Digital Detox. This is day 23. Now, in day 22, I did ask for everybody to take a few days off, kick back and spend some time with the covenant, with the SWOT. So I'm going to just check in about that. Let me just grab my notes. Um, yeah, how are you discovering this process of um, reviewing audit, if you will, of sitting with your SWOT, um, and then looking at the areas of the covenant and just mindfully thinking about your relationship with technology. And what I'd love to do is hear your experiences with that. That would be really useful to me personally and to this process, because the more feedback I get, the better it gets, quite frankly, with other programs that we're going to be doing. Now, if you haven't completed these steps, step number one is to review the SWOT audit that's free. Download it out of Dropbox. We don't take your emails. We don't take any of your private information. Have that to one side, have that open or printed out. Download the covenant that I created, the template for that. Have that ready. And just give yourself time. This isn't like, oh, you didn't do your homework, so you can't continue. You can do whatever you want, but it's really best practice if you do the work. If you actually just take a break and get on with, you know, where you're at. And also if you've missed some days in this detox and you feel as though you're playing catch up, I invite you to go back to where you were last consistent and to retake the days from that point. There's no harm in retaking the days. Now, metaphysical philosopher Rudolf Steiner once wrote, quote, "For every one step forward spiritually, we must take 3 steps morally. The great work," end of quote, "the great work, which is ourselves, that we are called upon as God in residence to hone, is what it implies. It's actual work. Now, without ethics, without inventory, without knowing who we are, without understanding what our codes of conduct are, the red lines in the sand, our values and principles, we simply cannot build the foundation on which to live a coherent life. As within, so without. So the hero's journey, for example, this is what all these things speak to. The hero's journey is about delayed gratification. It's about overcoming obstacles. The 4 stages of awakening, according to Carl Jung and many other alchemists, is all about withholding dopamine. Our spiritual evolution is not separate from the body. It is not a lofty thing that we have to take something to augment it, that we have to go on trips, that we have to chase Kundalini spiking, that we have to have, ecstatic, revelatory downloads. That's the Hollywood version of spirituality. That's what I see all around us, actually, on the internet. It's it's no different to dopamine drops. It's spiritual dopamine drops. So our spiritual evolution is our responsibility. It is not separate. It is not something we can give or pay somebody else to do for us. But on the other side of that is this truth: you lack nothing. You lack nothing. It is a case of simply understanding whether things are in your particular room. So the inner work, this work that we're about to do together, is about reflection. It's about contemplation. It's about self-analysis, which is what the SWOT is there to do, is there as a guide, as a tool. It's about self-analysis, yeah. It's about meditation and mindfulness, purification, Yes, that's what a detox is. But none of those things replaces raw application. Actual roll your sleeves up effort, action, doing stuff that changes who we are and how we behave in the real world. Now, a true way shower never gives you the formula because there isn't one. They simply hold aloft a lamp and illuminate the many pathways. They walk beside you, often in silence, as you self actualize. So, this is the part of the detox cycle where some will falter because, quite honestly, it becomes boring. It becomes about doing something, it becomes about accountability, it becomes about sacrifice, which requires focus, time, and effort. And it's normal for a percentage of people to move on to the next novel video channel or teacher at this point. Now, the 9, these are the guides that I work with, call this chasing shiny things. It's like chasing the rainbow. It's like chasing your next fix. This isn't surprising. We have been programmed from birth like monkeys in a lab and Pavlov's dog to be predictable, passive, addicted consumers, whether it's technology, junk food, relationships, or fast fashion. The matrix we live in demands mass consumption, no questions asked. That's the norm. And this means that most humans will live out their entire lives in an unconscious default setting. But that's not you. That's not why you're here. Like me, and like the fictional cast, Neo's team in the movie Matrix, you have seen the artificial matrix for what it is. It is a looping simulation designed for experiences, and you are immune to its machinations. But that doesn't mean, though, that they will ever give up wanting to co opt your unique divine life. Now, at this point, I'd like to read a couple of paragraphs from Ryan Holiday's book, Ego is the Enemy, because these words succinctly capture what we are doing here together. Quote, doing great work is a struggle. It's draining. It's demoralizing. It's frightening. Not always, but it can feel that way when we're deep in the middle of it. We talk to fill the void and the uncertainty. Void, Marlon Brando, a quiet actor, if ever there was one, once said, it is terrifying to most people. End of quote. So the greatest work and art comes from wrestling with the void, facing it instead of scrambling to make it go away. And that's the end of the quote from Ryan Holiday. So your SWOT and your covenant are calling you into service with yourself. This is a place without ego, without bright, shiny lights, without alarming headlines, without clickbait, without attempts to get your information. This is a place without narcissism. It is quiet. It is humble. It's a space to lean in. It is private and it is honest. Now, I was going to share some insights that I have gleaned from my own SWOT and covenant. I was going to show my homework, actually. That was my first thought this morning when I woke up. But the more I contemplated this and sat with it, the more I realized that my insights, my methods, my solutions are not yours. My covenant is a living testimonial that will continue to grow and shift over time. It is sacred and it is private to me. So that document, that template is there for you and you alone. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't share ideas, epiphanies, thoughts as they come up with the community, with this page. We have a Facebook community, for example, where you're free to share and continue to, but it's not necessary. It really isn't. No one's grading you on this. There's no right or wrong way to create this covenant. And for it to be, and for it to have power, it has to be yours and yours alone. In fact, you don't even have to use the template. You can come up with something entirely by yourself. So those are my thoughts for day 23. Making sure the recording is working. And DCT, deep coherence technique, is a part of the great work. And here's why. There isn't a lot of novelty to it. In fact, once you've done it for 2 or 3 cycles, 60, 90 days, you pretty much know how it's going to roll out. And it's at that point that the monkey mind and the ego want more bells and whistles. They want more hype, more shiny, more novel, more extraordinary. And that's fine. No, I'm not judging that seeking aspect of our human nature, but that isn't deep coherence technique. What deep coherence technique does is it compounds or compacts. In other words, the more that you do it, the greater the arc of evolution or development or peak or whatever you want to call it is. Something happens after 28 days, but you have to follow the steps as they're laid out. That's just the science of it. I don't question it at this point. I do it faithfully without thinking, just like I brush my teeth. If you can do DCT in bare feet, outside, facing the sun, obviously don't be ridiculous and stare at the sun, but facing the sun, feeling its rays upon you, becoming a human plant, receiving photosynthesis, the light codes, you may find that your experience with DCT is heightened. You may also find that different places where you practice it, you're going to have different experiences. Now, my visualization works for me, but essentially, aside from not messing with the 5 steps, you can visualize each of them in different ways. But today we're gonna do a classic 5-step. And surrender to what that does. All right. So take a few deep breaths in. Just orientate yourself, feeling where you are in this room, in this space, wherever you are. Be in that presence, be in that moment. Pull yourself back into the body. So pull down from your head, down from out there, all the noise, all the chatter, and just come back home. Come back into the body. And as you do so, sink down through the layers of your body and settle your mind as though it were resident in your feet. So bring your attention and your awareness to your feet. Very good. And now bring your attention and awareness to the ground beneath your feet. Bring your awareness and attention to the ground beneath your feet. Notice the difference between your feet and the ground beneath your feet. And we would say to you, that is an illusion, for there is no separation. So close that gap and become one with the ground beneath your feet. Become one. One. Very good. Now feel the difference. That connection has really come in strong for you. Very good. Now, I want you to imagine a series of, like a network, like roots of a plant or a tree, a great tree, for example, an oak tree. And the root system is often as large as underground as it is overground. And I want you to see the same thing. I want you to see an enormous root system that is you, that is connected to you, uniquely you. That's your root system dropping down through the soil, through the earth, through the ground beneath your feet. So follow that with your mind, with your heart, with your spirit, with your body. Feel the essence of those roots. Feel how wide they go. Feel how deep they go. Down, 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 all the way down. Not just through the layers of the physical earth in the third dimension, but down dimensionally into the second and the first dimensions, into the elemental world itself, because that is where you're anchored in, actually. You're multidimensional. You're anchored in at this place. And see those roots go all the way down to the center of the earth herself, a great being, a great consciousness. She's known as Gaia, extremely aware, sentient being that you are connected to. You are a part of her ecosystem. To connect into the earth's core. That's where our Schumann resonance issues from. It's a safe place. It is a familiar place. Some see it as a nourishing void, as the womb waters. It is a place where you don't have to worry about anything. And it's from here that you realize and sense and feel that you are actually connected to every living thing on this planet, because your roots go in at the earth's core, just like everybody's roots go in to the earth's core and become one root. So feel that one root. Very good. Now bring up through your roots, like a tree draws up the water and the sap and the nutrients, bring it up through your roots. This energy, this resonance, this vibration that comes from the earth's core. Bring it up higher, up, up through all the layers, through the dimensions, up, 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 until it reaches the ground beneath your feet, which are your roots, your plug. That is where you pull up from. Now feel that energy coming up. You can see it as a rising tide. You can see it as a spiral. You can see it as swirling energy. It doesn't matter. It can be a vibration. It can be a feeling. Whatever it is for you, it is for you. But as I count from 10 to 0, when I get to 0, that frequency, energy, resonance, vibration, colors, whatever it is for you, is going to be at the very top of your head at 0. Okay? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. You are deeply relaxed. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Shh. See how still the monkey mind comes in the presence, the earth resonance. Very good. Step number 1 is complete. You are grounded to the earth. Step number 2, we're going to take 5 deep breaths. Breathe that is in a way that is natural to you. But as you breathe in, I want you to visualize from the center of the cosmos itself, a light code, a stream of light coming directly into your body with each breath. And as it comes into your body, it revitalizes you, it activates your light body, so it illuminates you, but it also pulls out anything that needs to go back out of your body and get recycled by the cosmic center where it can do no harm. So as you breathe in, you breathe in the light. As you exhale, you are releasing anything that no longer works for you. 5 deep breaths. Very good. Step number 2, activate the light body through pranayama breath work has been completed. Now we move on to step number 3. We're going to take our hands and our fingers, the palms, and we're going to prime our electromagnetic field. We're going to literally move our hands and arms all the way around as we see fit, 360, gently moving through the so-called air around us, which is in fact not empty space, but is ether. It is intelligent. It is you. It is your field. So move and feel and prime your electromagnetic field. Now, as I do this, it's not a thinking step. It really is a very tactile space. You're receiving information about your field in real time, and it's going through your arms and it's going into your heart, into the sphere. It's cohering the information. It's a very important step. They all are, but this is quite an important step. And what we're doing too is we're reinforcing our boundaries. We are becoming aware that our Electromagnetic field is there to protect us against negative energy, toxic behavior, anything that wishes to attach. This is very helpful if you work in a busy office with people that can be negative. Now, when I do this, I see my electromagnetic field turning with every movement of my hand into a cobalt blue. It's a shimmering color, and it's also it's porous because there has to be things that it lets in that are for my highest good, and that's why I say it's sentient. I mean, it's essentially you. It's the high power you. It's very omni. Very good. Step number 3 is complete. Electromagnetic field has been primed. Primed for what? Primed for the next step. Step number 4. I'm just going to put the camera back on. See what I'm doing with my hands? Put them in front of your heart. Really press in. And gently open your hands like this, as though you're opening a portal. Okay? Or a gate. And this is the reason we always prime our electromagnetic field first. So let that open. And in your mind's eye, so just really connect with this visualization. As you open, there is the most astonishingly bright golden light that beams out through your heart. Beams its rays of light in all directions. And we call this the rising sun. S-U-N, rising sun, because this is the inner you, the divine in residence. And as you can see what I'm doing as I move my hands out, that light gets brighter and brighter and brighter. This is also the resurrected sun, S-O-N, resurrected out into full cognition, full presence. No gender implied, you are a child of God. So this is your child, your presence of God now coming out. Now the 9 call this the unfolding. It's like a fan, or like peacock's feathers. It's beautiful. Feel that light swirling, warmth of it, the majesty of it, the calmness of it, the magnificence of its presence. Just luxuriate in that. There is nothing here that's limited or imperfect. You can see this as the presence of the Shekinah light, wisdom, Sophia, love, the eternal light. You can see this as an activation of your higher power. You can see this as coherence. Doesn't matter words we use. What matters is we do this. We unfold into our greatness. And all of us have this. All of us, animals, plants, everybody, everything has this divine presence. Just so many of us don't show it. We don't unfold. Don't even know it's there. So we honor this divine presence in others as we honor it in ourselves. Even if it hasn't unfolded, we honor it. Because we're sparks of the same flame. We're sparks of the same flame, and we all have the same root. So how can there be any division? That's omnism. Step number 4 is ongoing because it's never complete. Step number 5, we're now going to enter from this unfolded state of beingness, of omnism, the divine in residence as me, as you. From this rooted, grounded place, we're now going to open up through the crown chakra, third eye. I call this the enlightened mind. It's connected, just as we're connected to the earth, this is connected to the cosmic center. There's a cord that runs straight in. So we're going to open that up now, reestablish that connection because it's often closed down. And remember, because we've activated our electromagnetic field and we're grounded, we're protected. So only pure light is going to come in through the enlightened mind. And the enlightened mind will only ever give permission. It's allowed. So if you get permission, run that light through the power of 9, through the vortex. We always go through the power of 9. Let it run down into your heart. And then the heart, it's a sphere. It's a technology. And what the heart does, it extracts that light-coded stream from the cosmic center. It synthesizes it with what you have already been running. And it generates a waveform that we call coherence. This is deep coherence. It's a frequency of resonance, a waveform. And you generate that. Now I see it as a pebble dropping into a still lake and creating a single ripple. And I see that ripple going out further and further and further and further. Filling my entire body, my entire field, my greater field. And then when that waveform of deep coherence reaches the edge of your electromagnetic field, you let go and you let God. Because that wave will keep running out in all directions, impacting everyone and everything in your life today. But more importantly, it'll carry on resonating from here. It carries on generating from here. It doesn't go and leave you. You are generating deep coherence. And you will do so throughout your entire day. And this is why we say to you, notice what you notice in the quantum field. It's always listening and speaking. I invite you also, once this recording ends, to spend some time in your coherence. May your day be blessed. May you be a blessing on everyone and everything. And I will see you again very soon.